2025 review continued. I didn't sit down at the start of this year with a plan. I sat down with a need. A restlessness. A pressure behind the ribs. A sense that something in me was unfinished, and that language might be the only way to reach it. What followed wasn't a single story, or even a single voice. It was a series of attempts. Drafts. Fragments. Scenes written at strange hours. Characters who arrived fully formed and others who had to be wrestled into existence line by line. Some days I wrote to escape. Other days I wrote to confront something I'd been avoiding for years. This year, writing stopped being ornamental. It stopped being something I did around life. It became the place where life showed up unfiltered. I explored voices that scared me, because they were too honest, too sharp, too close. I returned to themes I thought I'd outgrown and discovered they still had teeth. Power. Loss. Intimacy. Identity. Control. The quiet violence of memory. The tenderness that survives despite it. I learned how much restraint matters. How silence on the page can speak louder than explanation. How a single well-placed line can do the work of a paragraph if I trust the reader, and myself. There were moments I thought I was writing fiction, only to realize later I was writing confession in disguise. And moments I thought I was writing about myself, only to understand I was really writing about everyone who had ever stood where I stood and didn't have the words yet. This year sharpened my instincts. I stopped asking permission from the page. I stopped smoothing edges just to be palatable. I let characters make unforgivable choices. I let endings remain unresolved when resolution would have been dishonest. Most importantly, I kept coming back. Even when a piece didn't work. Even when a draft collapsed under its own ambition. Even when I wasn't sure what I was trying to say yet. I showed up anyway. Looking back, I don't measure this year by how many stories were finished, or how clean the prose became. I measure it by courage. By how often I chose to stay in the discomfort long enough for something real to emerge. These works, every fragment, every revision, every risk, are proof of that choice. I didn't just write this year. I listened. I changed. And I left evidence. To God goes the glory.